everybody. I'm Wendy Drew.
And I'm Pamela Drew, and welcome to Drunk on Politics.
Well, today's topic of conversation is the ban of TikTok in the United States of America. Pamela, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's just a ridiculous ban. I really don't understand why. I mean, I know that they are saying that it's because of national security. However, though, it's silly because we are just civilians who just love to be on the TikTok.
I know, right? It's so sad. So come the 19th of January 2005.
2005?
2025.
Oh, you've gone like 20 years back, girl.
All right, let me repeat that. So, as of 19th of January 2025, we will no longer be able to TikTok. The dancing is going to come to an end in America. Listening to people's stories is going to come to an end in America. And watching babies and these beautiful couples, watching their lives and the drama is now going to come to an end. So they said that they're banning it. And if they don't want it to be banned, it needs to be sold to an American company. And I feel like this is just a way to control our information.
That's true because
You know?
for the past 4 years, because like I think last week sometime Meta announced that they were no longer going to have fact checking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the past 4 years, he said that he was working with the Biden administration to block information from us. Okay, so, but then again, you also got to remember that all of this started way before now. This ban was always in talks. And this, I think it started in 2020, maybe late 2022. And I feel like when these talks started, it was based on the fact that everybody was migrating to TikTok. People were no longer interested in Meta, which is Instagram and
Facebook.
I even forget their names now. Mind you, I'm still on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. But a lot of people were migrating away because people were making money on TikTok. And so now I feel like they were obviously losing a lot of money because how these companies make money is through advertisements. So they were losing a lot of money with people migrating to TikTok. And make matters worse, TikTok was paying creators. Instagram doesn't do that. So they were paying creators. So obviously that was the incentive for your creative ideas or your content. And I honestly think that it goes deeper than just national security. It goes much deeper than that. It's because of the oligarchs of America, as Joe Biden calls them, that they want to take over TikTok. And if an American company does supposedly buys TikTok,
which is going to be impossible.
These creators are no longer going to get paid.
Yeah, exactly. And you know why it's going to be near impossible for TikTok to be sold to an American company, the TikTok America, is because the parent company needs to get permission from the Chinese government because it is a Chinese company, right?
Right.
TikTok is owned by a Chinese company. And so they would need to get permission from the Chinese government to sell TikTok to an American company.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So it's not just easy. That's why they can't do anything about it because China's like, hell no. You're not selling TikTok to an American company.
But then this is the funny part now. Everybody's running to guess who?
Red Note.
And what is Red Note?
Red Note is a social application. It's an app, right? Literally run by the Chinese government.
Okay.
So I was on it last night to do my research. Okay. You're not allowed to talk about politics. You're not allowed to talk about sexual orientation. You are not allowed to... What else? It's very restrictive, okay? You can't talk negative about governments, and I can't remember the other thing. But apparently it's sold as a site for fun, and you can make money. A lot of Chinese content creators were welcoming Americans, the so-called TikTok refugees. Yeah. And they're saying, we are so happy to have you guys here. You're going to learn a lot. I mean, there was one one content creator that actually did a whole tour of their city and welcome TikTok refugees. I've got
Are
this.
they calling them TikTok refugees?
Well, they dubbed themselves TikTok refugees.
Okay.
Everybody that's migrated, everybody that's moved to Red Note, Americans have dubbed themselves TikTok refugees.
Okay.
And they've got tutorials on the different emojis. Like a smiling emoji is like sarcasm. So they're teaching them the Chinese culture. I was taken. I was like, wow, okay. Well done, American government. You just shot yourself on the foot.
You put your nose to spite your face.
And we'll keep it simple. You shot yourself on the foot. That's more of a saying that Americans understand. So what was so funny as well, they were showing them the cars that they drive, and people were going on, oh my God, food is so
and
cheap.
the phones. And the phones. What is that phone that starts with an H? Hawaii? I don't know how to pronounce
Hawaii, yeah. Remember they banned Hawaii in the America?
I remember they banned Hawaii, yes.
Because one of the reasons why, again, Apple. It's competition to Apple. You know, for a country that says monopoly, they sure know how to monopolize. Okay? They sure know how to restrict and keep companies, smaller companies down. They sure know how to do that. And so they were showing them what life is in China. And no one is saying that life in China is so wonderful. Yes, it is restrictive. They are censored to a certain extent. However, when you're going to compare their transportation compared to America, when you're going to compare their healthcare, let's just compare their social needs, right? Healthcare, housing, food, education. They were like, oh, going to university in China is so much cheaper than a university in America.
Well, apparently, if you're going to university there, it's free for people who are overachievers. And if you didn't graduate, like with top marks, you pay to go to university, but you don't pay like thousands and thousands of dollars, So the thing is here, America is now waking up. They're waking up to the fact that they are, and they never knew this, that everybody else used to call them a third world country with a Gucci belt.
That's correct.
And that is not really an insult, but it is not something nice to say about a country that is supposedly first world. The US used to be so on top of so much. Like I Googled infrastructure and they say, oh, America's got one of the best infrastructures in the world. I think top 5. And I said, no, that's not true. Infrastructure to me is not seeing potholes on my freeway. Infrastructure to me is having a 24-hour sort of system, railway system, bus system, any sort of metropolitan system for me to be able to get from one place to another. We still don't have the lightning speed rail that California promised us. Okay. So now when you look at all these other countries where they have all of this technology that is literally 20 years ahead of the US, people are asking themselves, but why? What have I been paying my taxes towards? They've been feeding me that we are the best country in the world. But how are we the best country in the world when there is literal poverty in your face?
Yeah.
There are homeless people everywhere. San Francisco has the highest poverty rates, literally probably now in the world. So now Americans are waking up. And this is why I feel like they wanted to ban, one of the reasons why they wanted to ban TikTok is the fact that Americans were starting to see that they've been literally bamboozled all their lives.
Bait and switch. And switch.
The best marketing tactic.
Yeah. TikTok has opened a lot of people's minds. We've been, well, not me because I'm from South Africa. I travel the world, so I know what's out there, But people that don't travel the world have been exposed to what the world actually looks like. What Africa actually looks like.
Yeah, we don't...
Not kids with flies flying around their face and landing on their mouth like as if the child can't swat that away.
Exactly.
Okay. Not that. Not this skinny anorexic child. Yes, parts of Africa is like that. But they fixed it and said the whole of Africa is like that.
And called us Africa and not like the continent of Africa, meaning that it has 54 countries in it.
And yet they don't, now they see that South Africa, Africans drive way better cars than them.
Yeah.
You go to Samsung, you see the dealerships. You only see these kind of dealerships in LA. But you don't see these kind of dealerships anywhere else.
I woke up when I obviously got to the US and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, I too was not used to seeing homeless people everywhere.
No,
Because you don't see that in South. Yes, in South Africa there are homeless people, but these people literally put themselves there because they keep on running away from home. Like, they want to be on the street because they keep on running away from home. Families go and pick them up from the streets and bring them back home, but they run away, and then families just go, okay, now I give up. But you don't see like 50 people just sitting there high on drugs and just laying there in the middle of nowhere. I was so shocked when I got here to see so many homeless people in New York and then again in San Francisco. But now in San Francisco it's even more shocking because it's just quadrupled since COVID.
just 2 blocks from where I live,
Yeah.
mind you, I live by the beach. 2 blocks from where they're building up by the Golden Gate. They're starting with their tents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just walked past when I was driving my car. I mean,
You
I
walk
drove
past when you're driving your car?
I walked past when I was driving my car.
Oh, I just walked past while I was driving. I just walked past while I was driving my car. Okay.
I drove past when I was trying to park my car. That is what I was trying to say. I'm like, look at this. Tents are coming up.
Tent City again.
Tent City. Mind you, there are programs for this.
I think we digressed though. We're talking about the TikTok
But we
ban.
are talking about the TikTok ban.
Okay.
Let's go back to TikTok ban.
Okay.
Yes, I feel like they wanna control information like they've done it all along. And the popularity of TikTok is scary for them. People are getting exposed to a lot of information that we were never exposed to.
It's gonna get worse now that everybody's on red note.
Dude.
It's gonna get worse because now people are gonna even be exposed to more things that they were never exposed to.
But I'm proud of the American people, though.
I'm also proud of them.
I am so proud of them for, they're not marching,
No.
but they are sticking it to the man. They were like, you know what? Okay, you know what? We're gonna do better. We're gonna go for the Chinese government.
Yes, we're gonna do what you don't want us to do.
We're gonna do it because you are trying to control us. We are not a nation to be controlled. People in America, we live in America because we do not want to be controlled. There are safeguards for us, but not over. Before TikTok, I had a fixation. I always thought there was only A and B. This government was better than this government. This government was better than that. There was no in between. And when I started like watching TikTok and watching people on, learning a lot about the American government from Americans themselves, from people that are political scientists that you're not going to find on TV.
No.
These are the kind of people that they censor.
Yes.
These are true journalists that they censor. We started hearing from actual journalists. And these are not people that are not biased about the information that they feed us. You start learning, the Republican Party is not that bad. The Democratic Party is kind of shady.
Yeah.
Or the Democratic Party is not that bad. Or the Republican Party is shady. Vice versa. But it gives you an understanding. It helps you understand. It helps you comprehend information. As an adult, you then take that and you do what you need to do with it. I was so against a lot of politicians until I started reading more about them, finding out more about them.
So, as of Sunday, 18th of January, 2025, no more TikTok. But I think you had mentioned to me yesterday that the administration coming in, the Trump administration, he's national security guy.
Yes, he's national security
advisor.
Said there's no national security threat. TikTok does not pose a national security threat. And so they're going to think about it. And, hopefully it may be
reinstated
in the near future.
Also, I wanted to say...
The other concern about the Trump administration is that they said a lot of people are going to lose money. A lot of regular Joes are going to lose money. It's not a fair thing to do.
No, it's not, because this is the thing. Some people were saying, oh yeah, maybe now people can go and actually start getting real jobs. And I said to myself, what is a real job though, if that's not a job that they are doing? Because trying to put up content is a lot of work. It's not just, oh, put up my camera and let me act silly. No, it's actually a lot of work. There's editing involved. There's just so much things involved in being a content creator, and I actually give them credit for the work that they do. Right? That's also a job. But it gave these people financial freedom from them going to go work a regular 9 to 5, which obviously didn't pay well. It doesn't pay well because someone with a freaking degree in the US, their starting salary is 50,000 a year. What are you going to do with 50,000 a year? Then you're looking at what a content creator on TikTok was making. Some of them were making 1 million a year. And then some of
But
them were
tell me,
supplementing their incomes. So you can't take away people's bread and butter.
yeah, but you know, they don't care. They don't care because you know what? Their pockets are not being lined up, right? Because if TikTok is making money, Meta's not making
What do
money.
you mean their
That's
pockets
my
are
take.
not? Or you mean their pockets are being lined up?
No, with TikTok being around, their pockets, it's hitting them in the pockets, right?
Okay.
Banning TikTok will then therefore line their pockets,
Oh,
which is
okay.
so not fair for the regular Joe. You know, are these people that work in government? Are they working for us or are they there to make a quick buck?
It looks like they're there to make a quick buck.
You know, they claim, oh, propaganda, indoctrination, national security.
It's been
And I'm
happening
like,
for years, though. It's been happening for years. This is nothing
way
new.
before. Yes, exactly.
Okay?
It was happening during the Facebook era when
Yeah,
Facebook was the kid,
exactly. MySpace era.
was the it
I mean,
kid.
come on now. Let's stop this nonsense and let's just face the fact. You want to control people's information. You are working for the oligarchs, the guys who control media. Okay, you're working for them. You are not working for the actual people who are actually paying you. And who are those people paying you? The taxpayer. Because let's be honest, the middle class is the taxpayer. That is your boss, my friend, not the oligarchs, because they don't pay their fair share of taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And think about this. And I'm actually looking and I'm seeing countries where there's full ban on
TikTok.
TikTok. Afghanistan, and they cited immoral content.
Mm-hmm.
Somalia, they cited propaganda and indecent content. Senegal, they banned TikTok after following a political unrest.
Okay.
Okay. Then you got your partial bans, which makes sense.
Yeah.
The European Union, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan. They cited national security. However, partial bans meaning that TikTok cannot be downloaded on government devices.
It makes
And that
sense.
makes so much sense. If you're worried about national security, guess what? Don't download it on government devices.
Well, you're not supposed to be downloading any of the stuff on
Anything.
government devices, regardless. X should not be on government devices. Facebook should not be on government devices. None of these social media apps should be on government devices because, yes, anybody can hack that and get into the government device. Then, yes, it is national security. It is
Yes.
common freaking sense. I don't
And then,
work for
but,
the government. The rest of us don't work for the
well,
government.
yes, we
This
don't.
is our private property, our private time.
What are we gonna do though? What are we gonna do? What is so important about us? What information do we have?
The information that we have is the information they don't want us to have, and that is that the world is bigger than the US.
True.
The US is not the world.
And you know what? And I noticed this when I would read comments
Mm,
written by Americans when they complain about something like for example with the whole Tyler, the South African girl, the
mm.
South African musician, when she called herself colored. You know, in America, this is a derogatory term, what. And South Africans had to say, but this is a race in South Africa. It's a race. Yes, she should have learned and understood since she's in the American market not to use that word because she's in the American market.
Yes.
Yes, I will say that was the fault of her people, her team. They should have informed her about that.
Yes.
However, you can't go down her throat and say that she doesn't want to be black, or she called herself, she didn't call African Americans or people the word colored.
No.
She called herself a colored.
Yeah.
Let's say yes, it's a derogatory term, but she was putting herself down, not
Yeah,
anybody
so
else.
to speak.
She said, I am.
This is the thing. thing. Not a lot of Americans are educated about what's really going on around the world. Even if you watch
And
the news, it's always just about the same bullshit, which is, oh, the Democrats did this, oh, the Republicans did that. It's never
or
about
even with
what the
internet.
thing is.
Hmm.
Even with the news, it's always still censored. It's always just about the Democrats and the Republicans. It's never just about, like, this is really what's happening around the world.
Yes.
And now, mind you, there's a news a station called News Nation,
Mm.
and they are trying to get rid of that station.
Are you serious?
Yes, they are trying to get rid of News Nation because News Nation is probably one of the only news
Outlets.
programs that is always on point with the journalism. They drill you. I watch News Nation. They don't care. And now they're trying to get rid of News Nation because it's not falling onto their propaganda. They don't like what News Nation says. And because they're owned by a French company,
Oh
right?
wow.
So that, yeah, so cable TV, cable network, whoever owns the cable part of the networks is trying to get rid of News Nation.
Why? Because they're getting pressured
Yeah.
by the government.
Because News Nation just tells the truth. News Nation is not biased to either Democrat or a Republican. So now they're trying to get rid of News
Now
Nation.
they also want to get rid of news. So this
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
all what's the reason for News
Because
Nation?
News Nation gives you the truth. They tell it as it
No, well,
is.
what are they going to say? Are they going to cite national security as well?
Well, cite the fact that they are owned by a French company,
And then what does that got to do?
which is funny because Soros, he owns literally half of the media. So I mean, I
Exactly.
don't know. The problem is there's a lot of,
No, control. They want to control the information. They
yeah,
want to keep America in a bubble. They want to make Americans believe that they're the best country in the world. They fear that Americans are finally waking up to the truth.
yeah.
Americans are waking up to the reality that this country is an indirect dictatorship.
Mm.
Because you can't have people in government for years and years. I mean, case in point, Biden. Today is his last day of work. But
Mm.
how long has he been in government?
Listen to this. Listen to this. Right, his speech, his farewell speech. He
Yeah,
spoke about the oligarchs,
yeah.
which is so funny to me. I was like, so you were so concerned about these oligarchs. You were in office for 4 years. Why don't you do something about it? So, every now they twisting. These are the same oligarchs who put you there in 2020. Now all of a sudden, because now they're going towards the Republicans. Now they oligarchs. Now they're the enemy. Go listen to his speech. It's
I
ridiculous.
listened. I listened to his speech. Some people thought it was amazing and so
No, it
united.
wasn't amazing. To
But
me, it
I
was
was
just
like
to me,
contradictory.
it was contradiction. They are a walking contradiction.
They're all walking contradictions. They're all walking contradictions. It's crazy. But TikTok, though, I mean, come on. TikTok does everything every other social media platform does.
So let's hope that it comes back. And while obviously, I'm scared of just going on to Red Note because I can't read Mandarin. I don't want to say yes to what I don't know what I'm saying yes to
You
find
could
out
be,
that now they're
you
coming
could
to
be,
me
you could
and
be
I now
even
need to
saying yes.
join their military because I said I was going to. So I know I'm just joking, but still though, like it's also kind of like risky if you don't know. Maybe until they change everything into English for
Are
their
they working?
military.
They're working very, very hard to change everything into English. The things are written in Mandarin to have them in English. To the agreement to be written to be written and read in English. They are working overtime right now, and this just very soon they're going to be off the red notes. They're going to be banning red notes. So it's not
Listen,
going to be.
listen, listen, listen. So what you did was, like you said, shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah,
So you literally made me go to the man himself.
you made me. You told me he is an abusive man.
Yeah.
He's been abusing his people for years. And then you slap me in the face, and who do I run to? The same man you've been telling me is an abuser. All because you slapped me in the face.
They should have just left TikTok the way it was. But this is the funny part, though. For the people who banned it, it was both the Republicans and the Democrats that signed it to go through. Right? Biden signed it and made it
Official.
official. So, but then when you signed it and made it official, Kamala Harris was on TikTok, though. She was on TikTok. What was she doing? See, that's the part I don't understand. The contradiction for me is just unbearable. Like the hypocrisy is unbearable because you said it was a national security. Then why were half of you on TikTok? During the elections, I saw so much content on the race. I saw Harris content. I saw all the followers, like the Harrys and whatnot, speak about the elections. Everything was about Harris, Harris, Harris. And to me, if they were so concerned about national security, why were they on TikTok?
Exactly.
I hate the hypocrisy. I hate the hypocrisy. It is so annoying.
No, again, they fear Americans waking up, and now it's even going to be worse. You thought banning TikTok was the end?
Or the least of your
I
problems. It's no
mean,
longer
just
the least
look
of your
what they did.
problems.
So just, I mean, case in point, Red Notes is the #1 app, most downloaded app in America. Red Notes, run by the actual Chinese government.
That's a big to them.
Fuck you. Are they going to ban Red Notes? Because now they can't just ban the Red Note. It has to go through Congress again. What's going to happen is people are going to revolt.
Well, they're really revolting now. They're literally showing you.
Yeah.
They're showing you that they're revolting.
And Guy, Red Notes is pulling all the stops, Guy. They're working overnight to change everything into English to accommodate the Americans. The so-called TikTok refugees are being basically welcomed. Come. And you think propaganda? TikTok was propaganda? Wait until what they learn on Red Notes.
Yeah.
Huh? You push the American people into the arms of your enemy.
Yeah, you did.
By restricting. All because Meta is not making profits.
Yeah.
All because Instagram is not making profits.
Yeah.
All because of that. What's next? OnlyFans is going to be next because OnlyFans is owned by an English company. OnlyFans is going to be next because people are going to be flocking to OnlyFans because now they need additional income. American government just shot themselves on the foot. I don't think they expected.
Is it on the foot or in the foot?
They shot themselves on the foot. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. I think it's on the foot. You know what? The American government has undermined the American people. I hope TikTok gets reinstated, but be careful out there. It looks like Red Notes is taking over. Even if TikTok gets reinstated, they're going to really have to ban Red Notes. We'll see.
Well, thank you for listening and catch you on our next podcast. Hope you have a great end of your week, and let's hope for TikTok to be reinstated so people can continue making money because a lot of people are going to lose money.
I think I'm going to be jumping on the Red Note bandwagon to get my Chinese followers. They like the anime, the ginger hair, the twins. Oh, you're so cute.
I know, that's true.
I'm jumping on the Red Note bandwagon. I just need to make sure that they're not going to come after me and tell me that I signed up to be in the Chinese military. Thank you for listening to Drunken Politics, and catch us on our next podcast. We'll be on Spotify. We are going to be traveling around San Francisco. If you're in San Francisco, you can always bump into us in Costco and the bars around San Francisco.
You're so unserious right now.
I know. I mean, it's just light. It's light. All righty then. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. I'm Wendy Drew.
And I'm Pamela Drew. And thank you for listening to Drunk on Politics.